Are you like me, excitedly waiting to start your new gorgeous journal for the new year? Let's set up the first few pages for the start of the journal. And if that's something that interests you, you might want to stick around. Hi, this is Priya. What's up, everyone? Here I share tips, ideas, and inspiration to make your planner and journal spreads pretty and functional. I have a few stationery items here, and this is my new B5 journal. Can you see how stunning that cover is? And that's the spine, and this is the B5 journal from the winter release at Archer and Olive, the Winter Village, as you can read it from the label. And it pulls out like a drawer, just like with the recent designs. And wow, this is much more stunning in person. So you have to see it to really know what I'm talking about. And I've been waiting for this, and it's that lilac shade. And let's just put away that cover safely because that will just look gorgeous on the bookshelf. I mean, are you like me and have difficulty throwing away these stunning boxes? You probably are, right? And this is, again, look at all those details. And this was something I could not include in my journal lineup because I hadn't gotten hold of this one. But I skipped another one in my journal lineup when I revealed the entire 2026 stack. And this has some debossed and embossed elements, and all those snowflakes are in the debossed look. And those snowflakes, oh wow, so dreamy, so dreamy. And if you like anything that you see at Arch and Olive, their everyday collection is dropping soon. I'm not sure when you will be seeing the video, but there is a new release coming on December 29th or 30th. I'm not quite sure by the time of editing. I'll have all those details in the description, and my code Priya10 can earn you 10% off at Arch and Olive, Planything, Live Love Posh, the Washi Tape Shop, and a few other shops. I'll have all that in the description. And that is the custom hand lettered name of mine from Planet Darby. I'm not sure if she still does custom lettering, but I love her lettering. So that's why I had picked this up a few years ago. And this is a set of washi samples that I had got because somebody, I don't even remember the name, I had picked up, I think, a couple of journals 2 or 3 years back. And when they realized that I was an international girly, they just put together a whole set of washi samples. And this looks like Simply Gilded. And let me know if you have any of those washi tape samples because those are really gorgeous. And I'm using a lot of supplies from Journal Say. And I have a discount code for Journal Say if you are planning to shop this amazing store. And this is a whole set of different, these are actually ephemeras, and they do have a backing. So the sticky backing, you peel it off and then stick it as and when you need it. So this is, I'm trying to pick some coordinating colors. And my code Priya can earn you 8% off. And some of these may be out of stock. I'm not sure because they go through their inventory quite a bit. And they do come out with lots of new products every week. I'll try and link as many of the products as I possibly can. And I have some of these PET flakes, really pretty ones. And trust me, these are much more gorgeous in person. I'm not sure how much it will actually show on camera. And if you've seen me use these lanterns, I love how whimsical and magical, just a couple of those look. So I'm trying to see which other elements I can bring, because I will try and combine colors that will go with purple, which I obviously want to bring and I have already brought in. And you will also see how I go through a couple of packs here, trying to decide on which would be better. And I'm going for something less summery and more a wintry kind of thing, because this journal will usually last me. I've been journaling for a couple of years now, and each one of these journals, this is 160 pages, and this is the B5 as I mentioned earlier. And each of these has pages that will last me roughly around 4 months. So Jan, Feb, March, and April. So by the time spring will definitely be here. And I'm going with a wintry theme mostly for this setup. And you see these lanterns which just bring in that pop of magic. And yeah, I'm just keeping it very, very simple, and I don't want it to be too overpowering, and I want those bubbles to just cover that whiteout that I used, because they had the Arch and Olive name and all that. So I just decided to throw in a few of these bubbles in coordinating colors, and as you can see, I did cut up the stickers. And don't be ever afraid of doing so, because you do have all those. It's just really useful sometimes when you have that flexibility of cutting up the elements and using it depending on what space you have available for use. So I'm using another set of the ephemera, and I'm bringing in something which has some green elements. So it does look like a full row at the bottom, but I thought just that was not enough. So I'm bringing in another lantern, which can possibly be in a look that can just be sitting and not just need to be hung from somewhere. So just keeping it there, and I think that'll be a good intro page, and adding a couple of bubbles there, which I could have skipped, but I thought that is a good way of bringing some of those elements at the bottom as well. And just rounding the corner there. And for this page, which sometimes I end up decorating and sometimes I don't, this time, yeah, the glue tape just decided to just die on me right there. So I'm going to, yeah, I just got the refill, and that's the advantage of all these elements. You do have the refills, and you feel sad and guilty throwing away all the tapes as such in its entirety. So I get the refills only, and those are the Tombow Dots adhesive. So I thought I will come and bring in some distress oxides, but before that I thought I will just maybe make a small template. And I'm just I hate to waste paper, so this was a scrap paper I had, and I'm going with creating a hill kind of scene here. And trust me, this didn't go as planned as I had originally planned, I should put it that way. So I'm just using my gyro cut to cut that shape. And when you combine it with the other shape, you have, yeah, I had wanted to bring that hill, and I start with I'm still negotiating on which method I should do because I wanted to do the four Dutch door, and I also pulled out my bone folder and a couple of sticker books from Planny thing. So these are the two parts of that paper that I just cut the mountain stencil out of. So I'm getting my tape, the cello tape, and I'm just putting them together, just sticking them together so that they can just be secure in the place I want them to. And then I don't realize that I mess it up. Yeah, and that's when you realize it didn't go as I had planned. And I do have tutorials on how you can bring in distress oxides. So this is how I start with my inking process, and this is the salty ocean, and you can find all the products I'm using, including the distress oxides and the tweezers and the all the including the GyroCut Pro, the tool I use to cut all these images from. And now I realize that I had messed up the design. Yeah, that was not what I had originally planned on doing, but so I'm trying to make a four Dutch door here, and this is, yeah, so this is what I had originally planned on doing because I wanted to have the front part for a lot of decoration, and then the inside can all be writing area. And I will not be doing Dutch doors this time, but I thought I will just keep it to four Dutch doors. And yeah, some parts, because initially when you start off this paper, because it's really thick, you need to do a bit of a practice run before you actually dive in, just so that you will have that muscle memory back. And it did come out as a very wintry kind of scene, but very honestly speaking, I did not like how it turned out, even though it looked okay at the very end. And this, I'm just going around the edges of the mountain that we cut out, and I'm going to create that snowy wintry feeling. And once I have that down, I can go back and figure out the rest of the deco and the writing space. So let's carefully remove the tape, and we should have something like this if I had not messed it up, but it's fine. It can look like a different small hill right in the middle there. And we have these two sticker books from Planny Thing, which when I last checked are both still available, and we are going to create wintry villages right like so at the edge or the cliff. The cliff will definitely have some life, and we will also have some of these, which you need clear stickers for these, just plain and simple. So I'm going to take out stickers from both of these sticker books. And don't forget that there are the subscription boxes that are coming back, and they will be launching. The first one kicks off, the subscriptions kick off on Jan 1st. And yeah, you see how we can just build scenes from here, because this has a good mix of wildlife and city life and some of the really wintry outdoorsy scenes as well. And yeah, I don't quite end up using that. Was that a mole or a rabbit, winter, or a rat, field mouse? And it is just a matter of building all these scenes. And I'm also trying to make sure that the winter elements are all visible from the front and not hiding in the back pages for the most part. And you will see how I finish things off, because let's just put down our labels that I made on Cricut, as you can see. And if you like these fonts, let me know in the comments and I can tell you the names. And I thought these are very plain and simple fonts that you could use. And also let me know if you would be interested in seeing videos where I share ideas on how you can bring fonts into your Cricut or any of those softwares that you may like to use. It's not as hard as you think it is. So let me know if that's something that I'm working on a few video ideas for 2026. And if you have any specific ideas or anything specific that you would want me to cover, then I can accommodate that. And I have a full running list of video ideas for 2026 that I'm working on. So let me know. It's not as hard as you think. Unlike popular belief, you do not have to pay for the majority of the fonts. And I'm not a paid member of the Cricut. The Cricut has a premium kind of subscription that I pay for if needed, but I'm not subscribed to that. I usually resort to using only the free resources that are available. And I have my own websites where I get all fancy fonts. And if you need something specific, especially with the decorative and similar fonts that you might sometimes need for your setups, and let me know if you you get decorative fonts for your personal use. And if you have any favorite websites or places where you download them from, and downloading it and getting it onto your Cricut design space is just really not that hard. Trust me. You just need to know the 3 or 4 different steps you need to do, and it's very easy once you get the hang of things. So these are again washi PET flakes, in fact, from Journal Say, and they do come in those alcoholing kind of look, and it does have a specks of gold embedded in them, and it's not messy. Trust me, I did not have any glitter on me, even if I was just playing around with them and I was trying to decide where I should place them. And let's throw in some snowflakes as well. And yeah, I think that's a good way of bringing in some more of those blue colors. And I will also finish off the bottom edge just like so. And we will see now what we have, because the snowflakes can definitely be thrown in here and there, and there is no rhyme or reason why it can be. And let's now bring in some of these trees, which really look like they are really in the thick of winter. And I'm trying to bring in trees in the sizes that we have spaces for, because I want the beautiful trees to be seen. And let's now bring in some of these winter animals. And again, you do have a good variety when it comes to all these wildlife. And yeah, That looks really odd. And no, that was a small casualty right there. But yeah, let's bring something which we can hide that accident pretty well. Let's just disguise the whole look of it. And we have, yeah, that's perfect. And you see how it comes together pretty well. And let me know if winter is anywhere close to your favorite months. I mean, I have not heard many people who are really fond of winter. And I really love the cold weather and the cold months and all the cool stuff that nature has on display in winter. Let me know if you do explore outdoors in the winter, and if you have ever thought that winter is a cool month, because I know it can be really depressing and not so pleasant, because there's not much light, and even the sun is hardly out in certain places depending on where on the globe you are. And let's have some paw prints. And now let's see, let's just bring some more of those colors, and always remember to dab off the excess. Yeah, it was not quite enough, so I'm trying to bring in some of that bluish color. And this is, I wouldn't call this a great distress oxide project, but I think it was a good way of bringing some of those dreamy wintry vibes. And these lanterns in the bluish colors, I thought was a good way of using, again, just pulling that blue from the other elements. And this is a mix of blue and purple for sure. And I think it is nice that we have some of those colors brought down to the bottom as well. And I'm keeping it not entirely symmetrical, but yeah, should I bring in one of these girls? This is the City Girl series, and you have girls in various seasonal attire, and we also have different colors. And I am not sure that's quite needed for the scene we have going on. So I abandon it. And yeah, I almost went and put it down, but then, yeah, looks like we need something else. So let's go back to this remaining pages before we set up the front. And let us see. I think we can bring in some of the thinner washi, or should we go for this one? Yeah, I think we'll just go for this one. And just at the bottom like this, just bringing in those purple colors also. And as you can see, this just a couple of places and the whole look of the spread changes. And let us now bring some more of these wintry elements. And or maybe, you know what, yeah, I think we'll just use half of it on one page. And we have this entire set of pages that we need to decorate now. And this page, you could say this was where the initial part where I had messed up a bit is, and we will try and fix this part. And I'll bring parts of that wintry village right there. And I'm using smaller elements, of course, because that's the writing space we have for those pages. And I would really like to use, yeah, that area could take some more winter elements for sure. And let's bring in a couple of quotes. I think I'll pick those vertical quotes. Yeah, I think that's lovely. It'll not take up a lot of space and yet bring in a couple of those quotes. And I think it will definitely go with the fonts we already have going on. And that is the quote I have. And I think I will bring in, yeah, I think that's just perfect for that space. I love that. And yeah, I think some of those elements are really, really useful when it comes to completing the scenes. And for the space, I think we need a couple more of these. Yeah, I think that'll be a good place for that. Just completing that outdoor scene. And we have some of these animals, also the birds, and we definitely need to bring in this guy who was really, yeah, that was where the casualty was from. And I think this guy needs a white space, and yeah, that looks perfect. And I want to, yeah, he looks ready. It could look as if that skunk is actually holding like a snowball. Could be, right? Or am I just imagining it? Do you feel the same way? And I think we will also, yeah, just trying to make sure that there are elements which I can use to differentiate between the different pages. And we now will go and add some borders to these pages, and I'm using my Pigma Micron 10, and it was really not easy because that's what happens when I try to add the lines at the top of the page and I can't pull it closer, and I hate for my head to be actually in frame. So that is our outline, and I think those pages are done. And we have this set of pages which will have all the memories and highlights and everything for the month. And let's see, I want to go with something entirely different because this will be open on its own. And do I need to bring in a few of these elements? I don't think so. So let me now grab the Winter Love from Live Love Posh. And my code Priya10 can be used at the shop as well, just in case you forgot. And I used this particular set in my winter wedding journal that I have full setups for. And I really want to use those bohemian kind of boho winter kind of this one. But I decided to go with, this was another lovely one, but I'm not sure I'm using this, but I'm leaning towards this one because it has those bigger elements which I can just have right at the bottom, and that's kind of what I'm aiming for here, keeping it very, very simple. I'm trying to line it up across the right edge, and I would also like to make sure that there are no bubbles in there. And also I would like to have that crease right there. And this is usually what I like to use to make sure that's the case. And this set is filled with some of those smaller elements also, and I think the right side looks complete. You see how easy it was? And we have some of these which are, and I think I'm just keeping it there. And I think that girl definitely needs to come in, because I like when especially people are like walking inwards, people or animals, if they are looking inwards into the pages and not outwards into I don't know what. So I think I will use some of these smaller elements also to complete that scene at the bottom. And that will be another area where, yeah, I don't think the lamppost just came out as straight, but it's fine. And we have this deer, and we will also use some of those snowflakes, yeah, which I think is good. And we have the bottom part fully done, so I can have this washi tape from the washi tape shop. I'm just measuring the length I will need, because this also has that backing. And I'm just putting back the rubber band that I have the tape. The tape needs to be secure, so I just put a rubber band on top. And this is the paper trimmer from Journal Say, which is quite handy if you've seen me use it. And I'm using 1/2 of that tape right at the top, just for some of those colors. And that scalloped edge is another useful feature, because it just brings a bit more like a decorative aspect. And you're not even trying, you see, without much effort at all, you have some decorative elements right at the top as well. And I'm using the washi cutter to finish off that top part. And I will go ahead, I don't think it's quite straight, so I will cut off the excess going off the page, and let's take care of the bubbles for now. And that is our corner. And you've seen that I use the corner rounder at times, but sometimes the elements are just too thin and you can't quite use the rounding. The process does not happen because the elements are thin. So I'm taking off that paper or the sticker, all those that are going off the edge. And then I will also do just the edges on the right and left, and that will, if I can have, yeah, I think that was not bad. And that's what we have. So now let us see. We will need some more elements that we can use, but I think I need some pop of that darker shade of blue, and just at the spine. And these PET flakes are really thin, and so you can definitely put those without adding much bulk. And you know how I focus and emphasize on that aspect a lot. And I probably should have stayed at just one, because I think the additional sticker The PET flake was, I'm not sure that was quite needed, but I've gone ahead with it. And you peel off the backing and it is ready to use as a sticker. So I'm trying to just position it like so. And yes, I think that completes it. And so now we have maybe a few snowflakes. I think I'll pick some random spots and maybe one more on the right. And I think I'm not trying to have it symmetrical entirely, but I think I would more or less have the same position. And now I've picked a couple of pens here. This is the Calliograph, the Stellar Blue, which if you notice I have used in the Arch and Olive planner setup for 2026. And I'm going with this one, which is not the Stellar Blue. I'll have the name attached. I can't quite remember that. So I'm going to do some lettering here. And this is my lettering that I have been working on. Do you like my lettering? Do you see how I have focused a bit on slowing down and focusing on the strokes? And I think the calligraphs, I'm getting more and more used to and loving the calligraphs. And I also love the pentel sign brush pens for the purpose. And depending on the thickness of the tip, your letters will have various sizes. And I'm going with this Pigma Micron in 01 to do the outline of the memories and highlights headers. And that's all I will be doing. I will come and add those as and when it happens or towards the end of the month. And do you think I should have just left it at the calligraphs, or do you like it better with the outline like this? And let me know if a lettering video is something you would like to see from me, because I know a lot of people make resolutions at the start of the year to focus on improving their skills, and lettering is something that is on a lot of people's lists. So let me know. And if you like to see such creative ideas for your planners or journals, please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and you turn on the bell notification as well, so that you can be sure you do not miss out on any of that. So I'm bringing in these wines, just one on each page. And these are comparatively thicker. When you compare them to the PET flakes, they are thicker because these are paper. And you carefully take off the backing and you have really pretty deco, simple, nice and simple, but yet decorative. I think that was a good final touch. And please come follow me on Instagram. I do share more spreads and more sneaks, even if they don't quite get YouTube videos. And please find all the shops and links and codes and all that useful stuff down in the description for you. And I have my planner setups, my journal setups, all of that also up on my channel. And my reading journal setup is already there. And please let me know how you like these. And yeah, this was really fun to put together. This journal is just most stunning. And please make sure there are a couple of releases happening in the first week of January. And that is going to be amazing. because already the Arch and Olive release is happening. And then Mojo Jojo Plans has their Jan 2nd release. So that will be the first release in my radar, in addition to the Jan 1st subscription boxes from Planning Thing. So please make sure that you check out all that, and hope you have a lovely start to 2026. And I will catch you later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.